Welcome, everyone. This is Pilot Fuels, and you're listening to LOTRO Players News, where we take a look at the latest news in LOTRO and here at LOTRO Players. And this week we have with us Terry Adwin.
Hi.
And Sans
Hello.
Wicca. Hello, everyone. And this week we have Update 23. Where
Dragons!
dwell.
Dragons! You guys knew that was coming, right?
Yeah, of course we knew that was coming. Yes, in Update 23, we have, of course, the Iron Hills and the Iron Hills plus the Grey Mountains. We haven't, at least I haven't quite made the Grey Mountains yet, but I am questing in the Iron Hills currently. The quest cap increased to level 120. A few new instances with raid coming soon. And 2 more chapters to the Black Book of Mordor.
Yay!
And a Hobbit Avatar update.
Yeah, and of course we also have a new look for the Hobbits. And how's your new Hobbit looking?
I'm liking it.
How are your old hobbits looking?
My old Hobbit looks like she's got a new do.
Yeah, that does look like a nice hairstyle you've got there.
What do you think of yours?
Well, let's see, I do notice that there are some different, I think my look softened a little bit as a result of the changes to it, but I don't think it's that, I think the hairstyle's pretty much the same though. Maybe soften the hair a
mine's
little bit.
less wavy, which is kind of sad, but I still like how it looks, so it works.
Yeah. And we also have some changes in the way ratings are calculated, all sorts of fun stuff. They're tweaking the numbers left and right all the way through. They don't have everything quite right yet because they're finding occasional things where someone says, well, this part is too easy or something like that. I think someone was complaining that the 40-ish range, 40s or early 50s or something like that was very, very easy. I would have to check that out with skirmishes.
People are always complaining.
Well, yes, there is that. So I am trying to collect some data to see how things are going right now. I do notice that there are some ranges where the enemies have been buffed, and in other ranges where they've been toned down a little bit, because I noticed that all the way up to getting near 105, for example, morales are a little bit higher, but of course we've also had some other buffs to our abilities into there. So how well that balances out, time will tell, of course. There was a bit of a buff on the creeps. So actually, someone complained because they said that because some of the Standing Stones said that they intentionally, or at least the intent was that the creeps be a little bit overpowered for the moment, and that was to take into account the fact that the freaks are going to quickly grow into gear that should compensate for it. So someone complained, you should have put the creeps extra power or something like that. Of course, if they didn't, then 10 minutes after the release, the freaks would be overpowered compared to them.
Right.
You can't make it exact. It's impossible because, within a couple of weeks, the freaks are probably going to be more powerful anyway after they get all their gear.
They should be, at least most of them. I mean, I suppose the ones coming in at level 20 won't be, but that's mostly because they're level 20 being scaled up.
Yeah. But I'm talking about well-geared, capped freaks. I think by the time they get to the point of being well-geared or having the gear that's at the top level, they'll be at least equal to the creeps, I'm pretty sure.
And gear can be improved, and new updates often come with gear, and it'll even out.
Yeah. Now, of course, I have not heard actually from people who do PvP what the current situation is.
I meant to log on my creep and just see, but time got away from me this week, so I did not do that.
Yeah. I'm sure that if there is anyone who did some serious work in the moors, maybe they could leave a note either in response to the show notes or in an email telling us what they feel is the current status going into there. As I said, day of release, I would hope that the creeps are a little bit more powerful simply because they don't have as much room for development as the freaks do.
I thought it was the other way around.
Oh, did I say that? Okay, I
mean, creeps have been consistently underpowered compared to freaks for ages.
Right. So, which is why after New Hope, I would hope that the creeps would be slightly ahead of the curve. I don't think that's been the case for the last 3 releases prior to this.
I don't know if it's still the case. I think that was something they were noticing on Bulwer, that creeps are still underpowered.
All right. I thought they did some last minute tweaking since the last Bulwer build. As I said, that's why I asked if we could get some feedback from the PvP community. Maybe they will know what the current status there is.
Did they even listen to our show?
Maybe. We might find out.
Okay, you've got a point there.
Sorry. We might have a couple of people who play in the moors who listen to our show, and I would love to hear from them as to the state of the moors. Cause
we might have a lot of them, and we might be inundated with emails, guys. This could be fun.
You can send your flaming hate mail to podcast@lotroplayers.com.
Well, we won't read the flaming hate mail, but
we might. As long as the language is clean, we might.
Well, I would think. Well, when you say flaming hate mail, usually that implies that the language won't be
heavily edited. I know how to put in censored in place of like swear words. It would make for an interesting read anyway.
Can you substitute like dragons or something like that, just for the fun of it?
That would make it even more interesting.
Yes. Champion skill animation delays have been fixed. Is that true, Terry?
Yes. So awesome.
Yes, and the warden skill delays have also been corrected, and that is thankful. Yes, the warden is now playing a lot more smoothly than it has been for at least 5 years, I think. I don't
know about you, Pine Leaf, but I felt like a boss the other day on landscape. Everything was going smoothly. Stuff was dying when I hit it. It was great. I didn't have to wait for the hunter to come in and snipe things out from under me.
Well, I don't think I was quite that powerful, but I was running in blue, I believe, which means that I didn't have my most. I keep on running in tanking stance because I've been used to running in Mordor, where I would get killed if I wasn't in tanking stance.
You have so much faith in my ability to keep you alive.
Well, sorry about that. And the Lore Master pet morale has been adjusted as part of the broader balance pass. The morale pools have been lowered, but they should have the same level of survivability as before. I have not played my Lore Masters since release, so I don't know how true that is.
I can't comment because the Lore Master that I played is in level 106 area doing like level 60 content.
What about Lore Master that was doing Thangolhad?
I don't know because I don't run on level content enough with her to be able to compare the difference.
Yes, and I would presume. I assume you're running Thangolhad on level, but I guess everything was probably dying around her anyway, so so the pet never had a chance to see anything.
Yeah, I don't know. like I said, I don't run unlevel content enough to be able to compare like now versus previous.
Okay.
Cinders was kind of sad with the decrease in the pet morale because she had been shooting for getting it to a certain number, but she says that she hasn't had problems with pets dying or more than usual or anything like that. She says they're still doing just fine, so at least for her lore master.
All right. And there is a new Ironfold tier in crafting. I've not yet started crafting anything, but I heard that Cinders is.
I believe Cinders has been crafting. I have not gotten a chance to yet. I was really excited, though. I totally thought that I was about to get some Skarn twice when we were out, and both times it turned out to be something different. So...
You mean when you're mining Skarn, you're not getting Skarn?
That one thing was for a quest.
No, they were blinking notes.
Yeah, it looked like it was going to be Skarn, but it wasn't. It was a quest item. And then the other one, you opened that chest and you got 4 Skarn, and I was like, sweet! So I opened it, and I got a James Gemstone and a piece of wax. So...
I got a rock.
I did. Like a level 65 rock, or 45, or whatever level those start dropping.
Oh. You got Iron Hard. You wanted Iron Hard and Iron Cold, and you got...
I got a Jade Gemstone. I got some thing to sell, you know.
And they made some adjustments in the way that players acquire keys from loot boxes, which I'm sure is a real fun discussion on the forums.
Yeah, they're still whining. So much whining.
Oh, yeah. Pretty much.
I just destroyed all of the loot boxes that were in my bags, so I'm good with that because I freed up like 10 inventory slots.
There is that. The key and loot box system have been changed, and many things in the high-end loot system have been updated. There have been a couple of complaints, in addition to the complaints about the entire system in the first place, because they're changing it, and la. The other thing that I heard some complaints about, some people were complaining that the loot rates were not fast enough for them, and essentially, Standing Stone says is that they are trying to avoid having an easy, farmable way of getting this stuff, because that is what has destroyed the last 5 loot systems they attempted to have. And they're trying to see if they can find a way to have a loot system that won't be destroyed because of over-farming.
This is why we can't have nice things.
Though I'm confused. Right. Like, why does over-farming... Like, why would it hurt if everybody had the best gear?
What hurts is that means that in the next update, there are people who would have overfarmed and updated everything where they could have the best gear 5 minutes into the update. That's the problem. So that means they have to change the loot system so that they can't use their previous efforts.
Yeah, they want people to actually play the content is the thing.
Well, right, but playing the content is sometimes more fun if you've got better gear. At least I enjoy it more when I'm more survivable.
That was sort of the case for Mordor. You kind of needed good gear in order to get through Mordor.
Like, you walk into Udun and you go splat until this last update, like, without the gear.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, Mordor, yeah, I mean, I think the difficulty level of Mordor was its own mistake, in my opinion. But some people disagree with me. Some people are complaining that you toned down Mordor, boo-hoo.
Well, I mean, it was kind of fun to see how far you could survive, but I would rather be able to get good gear and survive.
As somebody who died 4 times trying to help a stupid bear in Northern Mirkwood, I can say that the problem didn't just end with Mordor.
Yes, okay, you have a point there.
Stupid bear.
Very stupid bear.
Yes. But
still salty about that quest chain.
Yeah, that is. That was and bassoons are now available.
Yeah, I haven't heard one yet. That's on my list.
Yeah, we got to get some bassoons so that we could hear some bassoons.
I was going to get one for my minstrel, then realized they don't make any sounds in combat yet, so I think I'll wait a little bit.
Oh, yeah, because the best part is having them make noises in combat.
Really interested to see what this is going to sound like.
Oh, what a bassoon sounds.
I will kill you with this bassoon.
Which of my is going to play it.
He will flee in terror. Wait, can I get a...
Is that more or less...
Oh, okay.
Is that more or less humiliating than Death by Pigborn?
I don't know. Maybe it depends on, like, which one the enemy thinks is more embarrassing. Like, maybe some enemies find Pigborn more embarrassing and other enemies would find the bassoon more embarrassing. I'm sure some enemies find the cowbell the most embarrassing.
I will kill you with cowbell.
Let me ring this bell at you. Oh, you died. Ha!
Now, they also say that kinship and legendary item naming is more flexible. I will just have to hope. Will they finally allow me to go back to my old name for my javelins?
Needle?
Yeah.
You haven't tried that yet?
I thought I tried it early in beta, but I don't think I've tried it since the release to see whether or not that is still failing, because it's a real pain, especially if I create a new pine leaf, because I'm planning on soon creating a new pine leaf on a new character on another server. And when I do this, I'm not going to get my last name because my surname is probably going to be rejected. And so I'm wondering, well, how am I going to grow them? Because I can't use the name Pine Leaf Needles.
You're just going to have to create something other than a Hobbit Pine Leaf.
Ooh.
That's how you get around that.
Create something.
Just make something other than a pine leaf, and then it doesn't have to be a pine leaf.
Pinestone the dwarf.
Problem solved.
Runekeeper.
Well, I suppose there is...
Just think of the fine beard you would have.
Yep, still rejects it.
Or some fancy pants high elf warden.
Yeah, they still reject Needle.
Pine pants, the high elf warden.
So therefore, I'm assuming that surnames are also going to be rejecting the name Needles also. Yeah. All right, I need a petition there. Bring back the Needle.
You just need to go with the fancy pants high elf warden. Pine pants, the high elf warden. There you go.
Pine pants.
Brax is in our chat, by the way. Hi, Brax. Brax says that pine pants sounds
I agree
painful.
with Brax.
I don't know. Have you seen how the high elves walk? It could explain a lot of things.
Yeah. All right. The infused legendary item level cap has been increased, so therefore there are a few items in there. We've got the unlocks in there. I have taken the starlit crystals that dropped from my last 6 months of grades and used those. So yeah, I've already hit cap on my weapons on my main warden. And I did actually have a starlit crystal drop when I was running a tier 3 solo skirmish, which amazing enough is that after this update, I'm actually able to run a tier 3, because I think during the Mordor update, running a tier 3 skirmish just became so frustrating. I think I was able to survive it, but it was, I felt like I was spending an hour to the thing. Okay, it was probably more like half an hour, but it felt like an hour.
I did not have any extra Starlight crystals, but what I did have was I had a bunch of XP pills in my inventory.
Yeah.
So aside from the 2 additional levels that need to be unlocked, my weapons are already leveled up.
Yeah, there is that too. I had a bunch of those pills also in my inventory. Why don't I go around leveling up more legendary items? Because I've already got too many pills in my inventory.
Yeah.
And for you RPers, more chairs are now usable with /sit emotes, including chairs in Dol Guldur, Dunland, Gondor, Isengard, and Rohan.
I really need to test this. I was going to test this the first time I saw it in the patch notes or in the update notes for Bowroar, and I never did get around to doing that. So I have a quest now. I have to go find all of the sittable chairs.
You should totally do that.
Does that mean that you might be able to sit on Sauron's throne?
Ooh, that's totally worth testing.
Is that even a thing?
No, his audience throne in Dol Guldur.
I mean, it's there.
Is that still there? Is it really? I can't remember. It's been a while since we've been there. I couldn't remember if that was still there or not.
Well, I think it was there the last time.
That requires testing, though.
Yeah, it does require testing. I mean, what other chair could you possibly want to sit in Dol Guldur?
Maybe you wouldn't want to sit in Dol Guldur.
That's well, I don't know. The orcs have some tables and stuff with maps on them. I guess it takes a certain type of person to want to roleplay in LOTRO anyway, so maybe those people want to go roleplay at Dol Guldur? I don't know.
Maybe if they're captains or lore masters and can have their pets protect them while they do so? I mean, the throne would be the easiest place to sit without needing constant protection.
Yeah, I'm assuming Dol Guldur's throne is as opposed to LSR's throne, right?
Right. I mean, I suppose you could sit in LSR's throne too, or try to. My hobbit might have tried that when she first saw it.
Sans dead.
He wasn't sitting on it though. He wasn't even there yet. So.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
I did not. I wasn't even tempted. I
kind of just ran up to it and tried, but I didn't really sit on it. I kind of curled up my legs and sat like I was sitting on the ground.
Then we'll have to test some of these out at some point. Then the essence selection boxes receive cap level. Boxes can now be disenchanted. Festivity tokens are now categorized under instances and skirmishes in the wallet. Hopefully will make them easier to find. Cosmetic instruments can now be hidden.
Yay.
Ooh, I can start carrying around the instruments again then. On the characters who aren't minstrels and don't really want them showing all the time.
Okay. And, let's see, quests and adventures. Oh yes, on the opening screen, when you first log in, you can now select the order in which everything appears. Because originally it was in alphabetical order was the only way it would show. Now you could show it in alphabetical order, either forward or backwards. You could show it in order of most recent login.
Yes, I lost Sans.
And
I tried to find her on Thursday night, and I looked where she was supposed to be on the second to last page, and she wasn't there. And I looked on the last page, and she wasn't there. And it wasn't full either, because I need more character slots. And that was weird, too. And then I looked on the third to last page, and she wasn't there. It took me forever to find out she was on the front page, because somehow or other mine had gotten sorted by level. So, that was pretty cool. Once I found her.
Yeah, mine were auto-sorted by level, too.
Oh, was it by level or was it by how
mine was by level. My 3 115s were all together, and they were alphabetized at 115.
Alright, because mine was preset to since last login, and since that's what I wanted anyway, Okay, no complaints of me. And the character sheet screen now shows up to 6 instead of 5, which goes with the other thing that Sunswinda noticed.
Now we need a sale on character slots. We really need a sale on character slots. My pages are all uneven.
Yes. I think you've been asking for this for the...
Pretty much since it hit the patch notes for Boror the first time.
So hopefully soon.
Yeah.
Maybe by Christmas?
So like 2 months now.
Maybe by Christmas? Is that a Christmas present for Terry Adwin? So she would prefer it to be a Halloween gift.
Halloween would be better. I concur. Ooh, and there's an 8th outfit slot.
Yeah, the 8 outfit
I mean, it at least shows up. I can't buy it yet, or at least I haven't figured out how to.
There is a way to buy. It's not going to go on sale by itself until after the special promotion thing that's currently on sale is done with. And I'm trying to remember what the name of that thing is, but it is a special pack that includes a number of things. Is that in the... I better double check to make sure that's not something that's in the beacon before I go around talking about that.
It's not in the beacon.
All right. Just wanted to make sure I wasn't going to cross with that. And... oh yeah, featured items, limited time. The Keepsakes of the Great Grey Mountains bundle, which is for $14.95. And in there, it unlocks a cosmetic outfit slot. It also includes some cosmetic items that are essentially items that are worn by the Zoruka clan.
Mm-hmm.
So it has some Zoruka cosmetics in it. I don't know if you had a chance to look at those yet.
Briefly.
Yeah, so it includes a long jacket, chest armor, helm, and boots inspired by the Zoruka dwarves. Also 25 Mithril coins and 2 scrolls of 100% XP boost and 2 scrolls of plus 5,000 enhanced reputation supply.
That's not bad.
So if you're into the Zoruka look, then it might be a good thing in which to get. And you don't have to worry about getting another cosmetic slot for it because it comes with a cosmetic slot. Note that if you want the Zoruka thing, and make sure you don't do something like buy the 8 slot. As I said, it's not available independently yet, and I think they're waiting on putting that on sale, is what I've heard at least. Don't go buy the 8 slot, then buy the Zoruka bundle, because you'd be buying the same slot twice.
I'm just glad that they have added another cosmetic outfit slot.
Yeah. So I'm still trying to think about, I think the reason why I haven't wondering about though is the cosmetic outfit slot, is that only... oh, the cosmetic outfit is for all characters on the account. Alright.
Yeah, those usually unlock everybody's.
Yeah, but I think the 25 Mithril coins, I'm pretty sure, is on the server you buy it on, I presume.
Well, yeah.
Yes, but other than that, I think probably... I don't know about the reputation stuff like this, but the cosmetics at least and the extra cosmetic slot, those will be for all of your servers and all your characters. Then let's get back to our regularly scheduled release notes. Anything else here? They've been doing some tweaks to the game launcher, hoping that things will be a little better on the download side, on downloading things, and also on the news feed, hoping that could come up more frequently and be updated sooner. There is one thing to note, and that is that on the patch itself, they accidentally left the music at a higher fidelity than they usually do. If you're an audiophile, that's great news. If you got low bandwidth during your downloads, it's horrible news. Because that means it'll take a long time to download the patch.
Well, that explains some of the download time.
Yeah, and a lot of the download time was taken up because the audio files were all way too large. They say that they are changing them back when they do the next week's update, because there is going to be an update next week where they have a number of things that they will be tweaking. And Jerry did read off the items that they're fixing in there. They're also adding a couple other things. I think there are a couple of weeks they're having getting ready for the festival. He's also talking about the fall festival, which I believe I think that starts next week. And that, of course, has the new bingo quest to follow up what was done last year. There are also apparently some other additional new quests that are also coming out. So that's something that we want to look out for. And if I am right that it's next week, then I'm sure we'll talk about that next time and see what. Oh, that's right. There is going to be a wheat maze. I know, just in case you thought that you didn't like the hedge maze enough, right? So yeah, if you hate mazes, then it might be a bit of a problem for you. But I'm sure some people out there would like to do the wheat maze. And I don't know, are wheat mazes a thing in the UK?
I have no idea.
Because I know that in the United States,
they're usually corn mazes.
Yeah. So, but
corn's not something you get in the UK, really. I mean, it's more native.
Well, corn means something else in the UK. And so, therefore, you could still call it a corn maze. But I think one of the reasons why corn is chosen for that is for the pun, the maze, you could call it. So because I sometimes see it advertised that way.
Interesting. I don't think I've ever seen a maze advertisement.
Yeah, sometimes you see it done that way since in the US, when you say corn, you usually mean maze. And I think yes, there are, of course, the usual known issues. In this case, as mentioned by, I think, Terry earlier, bassoons are not making sounds in combat. And the basic bassoon's volume seems to be a little low at the moment. So that's something that
Brax put into chat what I was thinking. Corn is chosen because you can't see over it. But then I thought about the corn that I knew first, and you could totally see over it, and I never got why there would be corn mazes, because you could just see over it. So, but now living someplace where the corn is tall, it makes total sense to me that you would choose a corn maze because it's tall.
Well, you mean there's some places where it's not tall?
Yeah, there are.
Alright, I didn't know that. And it appears that because I'm running battle in the tower, and I don't know where these suitable chairs are located. Maybe they're not in the skirmish.
Maybe they updated the area, but not the skirmish.
Well, maybe that's a possibility, but I tried Sauron's throne, and I tried the audience seats, and they don't have it. I can't think of any other chairs in the skirmish. Oh well. It was worth a try. And there are some scrolls. The scrolls of Doomfold Warding and Ironfold Warding lore have physical negation values that are too low, so they'll be taking care of those. And the travelers and wayfarers' armor and cloaks are using placeholder appearances. So don't throw them away yet if you are rejecting them because of how they look. In other words, if you're going to keep them or leave them based on their cosmetics, wait until the updates are done. Switching languages after initial English downloads restarts full download only when using the repair game data option.
So, apparently in the UK, they are actually mazes.
Oh, okay. Is that what they call them?
In the east of England, yeah.
Okay. So, all right. So, okay, that makes sense because they wouldn't call it a corn maze since corn means something different there. So they would call them maze then. Okay, that makes sense.
But they don't actually have them this far into the season. In the UK, they're typically cut down in September when the children return to school.
Interesting.
All right.
Wikipedia so no haunted
awesome.
mazes for Halloween.
No. It's a farm thing, I think.
Yeah, it is a farm thing. So it all depends on when the farms will have that stuff.
Like a farm festival, summer festival, spring fest thing. And then they harvest the corn in September because, you got to eat it.
True. So I heard that there was one farm where they made the maze so difficult that they had to send in people before sundown to find people that were lost in there. So you have to be careful when you're designing those things. Make sure they're not too hard. Yes.
That's kind of awesome, though, because that means that the people there were actually following all the rules.
Yeah. Yeah, there is that. And then there was a minor potions of morale, major potions of morale, are missing and will be added to the game later. So therefore there are. All right.
I guess they never figured out those numbers correctly.
Yeah, they're still trying to figure out those numbers. But anyway, that is update 23 in a nutshell. Anything that I skipped over that you wish me to discuss? Then let us head into the LOTRO Beacon, issue number 81, where, surprise, surprise, there's a dragon.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that dragon is from the trailer.
Well, that would be an appropriate place to take.
I'm pretty sure that shot is from the trailer.
Oh, yeah, that's right. And there is actually a trailer to this particular update. And
yeah, that's in the beacon. That's like the bottom of the beacon.
All right, yeah, so we'll discuss that later then. Then let's head into this community spotlight, where the Valley of Valandris is a blog for elven-themed cosmetics. Well, I know you like cosmetic sites, but I know you also avoid elven things. So does that mean
I don't always avoid elven things because I have elves. I even have high elves. I mean, granted, my main high elf is named Well-Dressed Killing Machine, but come on. That just means that I have to make sure he's well-dressed.
Right, so you would have to check out the elven-themed cosmetics, yes. You got a point there.
Yes, it's another good cosmetic blog. It's on my list of blogs that I occasionally peruse for outfit ideas.
Then
some really pretty ones on here, too.
Ooh. And Second Breakfast of Crick Hollow presents a harvest math happening on October 26th and 27th at Crick Hollow. And D&Co Demille created a catalog of new items for Update 23 Where Dragons Dwell.
That would be the housing items. The new decorations.
Ooh. Let's have a look at some of those. A lot of Dwarven themed things, of course. And
Go figure.
we're gonna go figure. So if you are in the Dwarven neighborhood or wish some additional Dwarven stuff in there, that could really work with that. And of course, the usual selection of books, I'm sure. And yes, there are more of those pages all around it.
And they're awesome!
Yeah, rusty pages.
Rusty pages that have poetry on them, which is great to hear finally read.
Yeah. So when I have the entire thing, we could read that out, maybe.
Yes.
When I finally find one. Because I've not found all the pages, but actually we are getting pretty close. I think my main character has only 2 pages left, and I think I missed one of the pages that we found on our other group, so that one should be. So that means there's only one I have not found on any character yet. And the Harvest Festival is coming soon, and Fibro Jedi has a guide to that. So, of course, this is the general guide right now. This is last year's that's up, but I'm sure you want to keep that in mind so that you can see the updated version, which I'm sure is going to come up as soon as it starts. And according to Fibro Jedi, it's going to take place from 16 October till 6th November.
Which is good because there's going to be lots of stuff.
That's so you must have done a couple of
starts Tuesday. Yeah, he's already revamped the guide in preparation for the upcoming festival.
Oh, that's right. It says 14 October 2017, but it hasn't updated 13.
So that's the post that you want to keep an eye on for when the festival goes live, because he'll have it updated within like a day or two.
With, I'm sure, some pictures of the maze. Hopefully, they'll put any solutions to the maze into a spoiler page or something like that. And the Minstrel Guild of Bree will be No, that's already passed. Never mind.
That was today. That was Brandywine Pumpkin Jam.
Yeah, the Brandywine Pumpkin Jam, that was today.
Pumpkin Jam does not sound like a delicious thing, by the way.
Yeah, I'm hoping they meant a musical jam as opposed to something that you would put on bread.
Musical
pumpkins
like definitely sound better.
Yeah, when I think of pumpkin, something to put on bread made of pumpkin, I think of maybe pumpkin butter, maybe.
Maybe.
I
just think of pumpkin bread because my mom has
the bread itself,
pumpkin nut loaf, which is amazing.
Yeah, and besides, when I think of something butter to put on bread, I think of apple butter instead. So even there, I think that would be something else. Let's go. Akin, Durin's folk, a Dwarven kinship, an ally of Durin's folk. Non-Dwarven sisterkin are recruiting. Appropriate time to be recruiting, considering that we are heading into the Iron Hills and Grey Mountains. They are a semi-RP kinship on Arkenstone. So therefore, if you are a dwarf, you can join Durin's kin or ally Durin's kin if you're not. It's an interesting way of handling it, having a sister kin to a particular race only kin, so that you have a more open kinship but still have, I guess, RP for one particular type if it's named that way.
Yeah. Role players, they're weird.
Yeah. Let's head into our weekly comment. Which of the new Dwarfhold regions are you most excited to explore? And I have a feeling that it would be for Teriaduan, one that involves
dragons,
which is the Iron Mountains, the Arid Mithrin, which is but really my answer is all of them, because I didn't actually go the other way in beta, so I'm also super excited to explore the Iron Hills.
Any that let me carry things that make me run super fast.
Yes, there is that. And in our fan site news, you could watch Epic Shenaniganery with Tesla the Panda. You could watch LOTRO, the Balville edition. And you can watch Druid's Fire Quest on Langerville. And you could also watch Ending in LOTRO Legacy of the Necromancer Part 4.
Slacker.
Yeah. He's just getting up to the Necromancer, and now the Iron Hills are already out.
Yeah.
And you could watch Moose in Middle Earth with Gussie Moose, and you can watch Be Bold, Be Wary with Apulu Felgar, and you can watch Easy Lost with Nick Big and Pants Into the Waste. And even though it's not in here, maybe I should give a plug for my own channel where I am running stuff in the Iron Hills now.
Nice.
Actually, that's right. The episode I'm posting tonight is when I'm actually entering into the Iron Hills, so we'll get started on that new update. And there is a trailer for Update 23 Where Dragons...
And it's amazing.
Yes, it was trying to make up for the much maligned Mordor trailer.
It's such an awesome trailer.
So we had that, and I think there may have even been... I thought I heard some rumor of a second trailer also. Oh yes, there is a second trailer. It's a quickie. It might be an abbreviated version of the main trailer because the second trailer is only 36 seconds long. And that was posted either late yesterday or sometime today. So that would have been after the beacon was posted, which is why that was mentioned there. And LOTRO bonus days brings you 25%. Actually, you usually talk about that in your sales stuff. So we'll talk about that later. Oh, and our screenshot of the week shows Fiorin in the Lonely Mountain.
Of the Lonely Mountain.
Of the Lonely Mountain, yeah, okay.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure that's Galtrov.
Yeah, that looks like Galtrov. That looks a bit strange there. Yeah, of the Lonely Mountain. Yeah, I think it would have been appropriate if he were at the Lonely Mountain itself.
Well, maybe he's not there yet, though.
Oh, you got a good point there. He might not.
Not everybody is at that point yet.
Yes, you got a point there.
I mean, it's got a great outfit.
Of course. Well,
I love that helmet. That helmet is amazing.
And it totally fits being in Galtrov. And it can totally go into Erebor, so.
Yeah, so therefore, you got a point there. So, congratulations for this week's screenshot of the week. Let's then head into our sales this week. And Terry had one. What's on sale?
Nothing good. Bunch of crafting junk.
Oh.
I didn't actually have it in the show notes, so I'll say that the LOTRO bonus days brings you a 25% crafting XP event, which apparently goes with the store sales because you also have 25% off crafting guild access, ingredient packs, crafting accelerators, rapid craft, crafting tiers, recipe books, blah, crafting. And the weekly coupon gets you plus 5,000 enhanced reputation supply times 1 with coupon code reputation now through October 18th.
Yay!
Candy, because we have new update, new reputation. So yay.
Yay.
I gotta remember to redeem that one before it goes off.
Yeah, that might be a good idea. And LOTRO Players News is brought to us by dwarves, more dwarves, and even more dwarves.
But not Mordor dwarves.
No, we want to avoid the Mordor dwarves.
Well, except maybe the ones that relocated to Erebor.
Yeah, now they're Erebor dwarves, right? They're honorary Longbeards, if not by birth.
I don't know. I think they still consider themselves stout axes, though.
Yeah, they consider themselves to be their original clan, right? Because they refer to their old brethren by the clan name that they switched to when they jumped ship, so to speak, and turned evil.
I don't know. Dwarven politics is weird.
True.
have you found anyone's politics that wasn't weird in some way?
No.
Well, I mean, Hobbit politics are pretty straightforward. You vote for the mayor, and his job is to preside over the fairs and sort of kind of run the mail and judge pies. That seems pretty simple and straightforward to me.
Well, yeah, but you're talking about the main political system. But some of the things that happen beneath that, like some of the petitions that they get things for,
that's not really Hobbit politics, though. That's hobbits in general. And hobbits in general are weird.
Well, yeah. Well, when I talk about politics, I'm not talking necessarily about office holding, but also the internal interaction of people.
Well, that's always strange.
Yeah, that's always strange. And got a point there. Anyone have a new player question that we could ask?
I'm trying really hard to think of one really quickly. Cinders has one.
Oh. Okay.
I heard that.
Yes. And what is her question?
Okay. The loot boxes. Not loot boxes. That's the wrong term. They are what are they? The supply crates, the the backpacks, the corpses, and things. Sometimes they keep, sparkling even after you take everything out of them. Do you know why?
After you take everything out of them?
Well, if they're still sparkling, then not everything has been taken out of them.
Yeah, but
Well, we were legitimately confused by this week. And apparently the thing that's happening right now is if you've filtered out something that's in it, it will sparkle because you haven't taken everything out, even though it looks like you did.
Oh, okay.
But it does disappear and respawn. So, I'm not sure if it disappears and respawns if you didn't take everything out, including things that you didn't filter. Like if you left things that aren't...
It does.
Oh, Cinder says she tested this. It does. Even if you leave things that you just don't want that you haven't filtered out, it will still disappear and respawn, even though it's sparkly. Which is nice, but...
Well, it's good that it does that. I think in the past it might.
Well,
not
it does, but it takes a while to actually.
It does take
disappear and
longer.
respawn. That was a complaint that I've had actually in the past. Because if you're not completely emptying the bag, it stays put, and then nobody else
doesn't
can get
take as
into
long as it used
until
to take.
It finally goes away.
And if it's still sparkling, it's probably because you have filtered items in it.
Yeah, so it could be that they made the respawn more reasonable. Because,
yeah, it took like a minute, maybe a minute and a half, because we were like going through the filtering thing, trying to figure it out, and we figured it out, and we had just figured it out, and figured out the filtered things, and then it disappeared. So it couldn't have been super long. It took a few things that we tried that on before we figured out to check the filtered things, but.
Whew. Yeah, that's one I never even thought about. But I guess if you do have a lot of filtered things, that could be a problem these days. Because in the past, they will just say, well, just loot everything.
Yeah, I mean, that's general policy is just loot everything. And the only time they'll still sparkle is if there's still something in there. So I guess if you've got something filtered, technically there's still something in there. Because it won't give it to you if it's been filtered out.
Right, but it doesn't stop it from spawning or being there.
Yeah. Let's head into our weekend LOTRO, and Terry Adwin, what were you up to?
Well, Terry Adwin met the first dwarfs in Skorgrim that she really, 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 really dislikes.
Even more so than the Mordor orcs?
Mordor dwarves?
Dwarves, yes, dwarves, sorry.
As crummy as those guys were, they started off kind of awesome, and then they did like this 360 or 180 or whatever, and turned into a jerk. And you could sort of kind of see that coming But no, this guy she just disliked off the bat because he basically started out a jerk and is still a jerk. I mean, he started out by maligning somebody that she met along her way, and this other dwarf that she was already a friend with because they got in a bar brawl, and that's like totally how you make friends with dwarves is you get in a bar fight with them.
Like on the same team though.
Which is right up
you weren't fighting against him. Yeah. You were fighting against other people.
No, they were fighting other people. They were in the bar brawl fighting on the same side, which was awesome. So that's totally how you make friends with dwarves is you get them, buy them a drink, and after you've had a few, you get in a fight with some other people. And friends for life then. It's funny because I remember going through that quest chain and meeting that dwarf, and I was really impressed by that because it was so awesome and so dwarvish. And then we meet this other guy now that we're going to be heading into the Iron Hills, and this other dwarf is just a complete jerk, and he's spreading malicious rumors and won't take them back, and she just wants to punch his face in. But instead, she ended up heading eastward to babysit said dwarf and a couple of other dwarves. So I've decided that the theme of this update, I know they've called it Where Dragons Dwell, but really it's Dwarven Babysitters. That's what it is. It's babysitting dwarves. Because you're not just babysitting one dwarf or two dwarves. No, we had a grand total of 3 dwarves that we were looking after by the time we left Erebor to go to the Iron Hills.
Yeah.
But aside from that, we started the journey into the Iron Hills, and it was really cool because it was a place that I didn't get to in beta because I went the other way. So I'm seeing areas of the landscape that I've never seen before, which is always fun. And then my area lore master protected Thanglehat. I did Pineleaf's favorite skirmish today, but I didn't use the Pineleaf method because I didn't use the ballista. Instead, I was using the Red Line Lore Master AoEs instead of the ballista, which is great if you can actually get the waves to come at you in the big clump, and then your lightning storm is on cooldown because you do boom and everything just dies. It was awesome.
And when it's not on cooldown, you just throw them a sticky gourd, I guess?
Yeah, sticky gourd or circle of fire or, all of the other, and then you stick the links on it. Anyway, needless to say, I didn't really need, there were a couple of times that I was like, yeah, who needs ballista? I don't need ballista. So that was fun. But that was pretty much my week because, as you guys can probably tell, I've also been sick. So, Sanswinda, what have you been up to?
Well, earlier this week, I killed some stuff in Trestlebridge with the girls of Middle-earth. There were just 4 of us, so we pulled out alts we were unfamiliar with, who were all, we must have been like level 17-ish, and went up to Trestlebridge and killed a bunch of stuff until we were a high enough level to get the quests. And then the show was pretty much over. But it was fun. And we learned some things about our characters, and, yeah, we had a blast. Sometimes literally. Especially with all the little boxes of fire, gunpowder stuff. And then, the update came out, and I had been working on a character who had just reached level 50. I was going through getting the allies and stuff, and then the update came out, and, I had the ally, I finished the quest to get the ally, like, right after the update came out, and, had to go to Thorn's Hall. And this poor character, has a bunch of stable masters she has not unlocked. So I'm, like, running around trying to figure out how in the world I can get places. So I finally, got her to, West Bree. I don't remember what I did to get to West Bree, but I got to West Bree. And I rode up to the stable master and talked to and the stable master said it couldn't take me anywhere. I was like, what in the world? I know I've been at least to South Bree before. So, just to make sure, I ride down to the Southbury Stablemaster, and sure enough, I've been to Southbury before. I was like, alright, Southbury Stablemaster, can you take me places? And the Southbury Stablemaster's like, yeah, sure, you want to go to Thorns Gate? I'll take you to Thorns Gate. So I go to Thorns Gate. And I, look at the list of places that I can go in Thorns Gate. And that one looks normal. I can go to, all the places that I should be able to go to from Thorns Gate, except the 2 that I haven't discovered. So then, I go get my ally tested and stuff, come back out, and ride down the stairs and over to the Stablemaster, and the Stablemaster says they can't take me anywhere. I was like, what in the world? Just a minute ago, you could take me wherever I wanted to go. And apparently, there's something about being mounted right now with Stablemasters, and it's affecting some Stablemasters, but not necessarily all Stablemasters. I don't know the logic for it or anything else, but if you suddenly see that you cannot go somewhere that you think you should be able to go, try dismounting. It just might work. Because, yeah, I did not want to pay Mithril to go to, Mickle Delving from Thorns Gate, because that should just be 1 silver. And so that was interesting. And then I got to run super fast making deliveries in Erebor, and it was awesome. And I want to constantly, I want to be able to, pick up one of those deliveries and carry it with me everywhere. And maybe, put it down so I can do other things and then pick it back up, because that was so much fun running around carrying the deliveries with my 30% hunter speed. I don't think it was nearly as much fun for Terry and Pineleaf, but I had a blast. And to make up for that, I managed to not Rivendell any bridges this week. But I opened the door to Yarnfast and promptly fell through a hole in the floor and ended up at the res circle halfway across the landscape. So, I made up for my...
Why doesn't that count as... Yeah. How does that not count as Rivendell?
Because I couldn't see a bridge. As far as I could see on my computer screen, there was just floor in front of me, and some of it was a little bit darker black. Maybe it was a big stone. I couldn't tell. The light coming in from the window was at just the wrong angle to be able to see really good, especially with the change in light of going indoors. And I didn't see it. As far as I knew, my first time stepping into Yarnfast, there was no bridge. So it does not count as Rivendelling a bridge, because I did not know there was a bridge to be on. The second time that I went in...
I didn't see a bridge either. I just saw a great big hole in the floor that I didn't
The second time that I came in, I looked around very, very carefully and decided to hug the left-hand wall. And when I got to the bridge, I could see that there was a little path across. But yeah, until that point... I was just walking into a dwarf keep. I wasn't... I was not as careful as I should have been. They need some guardrails, and maybe some of that metal mesh stuff, or at least a closer res circle. Those would be my recommendations to the dwarves of Yarnfast. Pineleaf, how was your week?
I'll begin with my burglar, who assisted some dwarves in a raid that completely failed. I mean, yeah, let's go raid Mazak's stronghold. What can go wrong?
That'll be fine.
Yeah, it'll be fine. Well, it wasn't fine. So now I'm running some skirmishes in order to help to recover from that particular situation. And then my main warden headed into the Iron Hills, where I have managed to... Well, I've gotten to Yarnfast, and I'm now being sent to other places in the Iron Hills to help the Lord of the Iron Hills in order to cover that. I'm trying to be careful what I say here, because I don't want to give any spoilers to Terry and Sads. Yes. But I'm starting to do some missions that you're sent to by the Lord of the Iron Hills. Then with Terry and Sans, then I babysat for some dwarves. Well, I helped them to babysit for the dwarves that are there because you all heard about the wonderful joys we had, especially with the Long Mustache Clan.
The Zelruka, the Long Mustache Clan.
Yeah, the Zelruka. The Long Mustache, that is what I'm calling the Zelruka, the Long Mustache Clan, because they have these really big mustaches. Their beards are shorter, but their mustaches, they're very, very distinct. And that covers our week in LOTRO. We currently have 21 supporters on Patreon. If you'd like to join this illustrious array of players and help support LOTRO players, simply go to the donations page where you can support the Players Alliance on Patreon. There you'll find rewards, including a mention on the podcast of your choice, or you'll be a guest with us for an episode of LOTRO Players News. And we actually have a featured comment on last week's show from Ranger Lily Rose. And Sans, what did Lily Rose say?
Ranger Lily Rose says, "There's a whole loot crate culture out there for geeks who love the mystery surprise. Usually the MSRP of the individual items or the company would get a lot of blowback. My guess is that this might be some test marketing in advance of the Amazon Prime Lord of the Rings series. The company may be gauging interest in real-life loot. Housewares, by the way, probably means along the lines of glassware or coffee mugs. Ooh, that would be kind of cool. I think soft housewares, such as bed linens, would be hard to manufacture economically enough for a $50 crate." That's a good point.
Yeah. Well, the reason why I was thinking not glassware is I was worried about potential for breakage.
Styrofoam will fix that.
Only to a certain extent.
It will mostly fix that, especially if they're fragile on the box.
Yes.
Again, only to a certain extent.
I've seen fragile on boxes before where the people doing the delivery seem not to understand what the word meant.
I unpack them on a regular basis.
Good point.
Right along with do not lay flat that are laid.
Yeah. I love the boxes that I get that say this side up, and it's definitely pointing down when I find the box.
Yeah.
Well, there is that problem also. We did not receive any emails this week, but if you'd like to send us one, you can send it to podcast@LotroPlayers.com. You can also follow us on Twitter, the Players Alliance @PlayersAlliance, Lotro Players @LotroPlayers, Arendis @Arendis, Pineleaf @Pineleaf Needles, Sandwinda @Sandwinda, and Terry Adwin @Terry Adwin. The Players Alliance has 2 live shows every Monday at 8:30 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time. We have DDO Players News, and every Saturday at 8:30 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time, we have LOTRO Players News. And you can join us for our live shows at LOTROPlayers.com/live. And that is all for tonight, and this is Pineleaf Needles reminding you to skirmish responsibly.